It's this time of year, late summer, getting ready to be autumn, fall, that I like to come up with some kind of idea that maybe some of my viewers could give as gifts for Christmas. And this year I'm thinking of a freeze-dried fruit cocktail, which sounds absolutely delicious and should present well as a gift. So that's what we're going to do. So what I have here is I have 8 different fruits because I have the 4 shelf freeze dryer medium. I'm going to put 1¼ pounds of each fruit per tray. So we got strawberries, pears, apples, peaches, bananas, green grapes, cantaloupe, red grapes, and what else? I think that's it. I said peaches, said apples, banana, yeah. So that's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to prepare most of these off camera because basically I'm just going to slice up fruit. You've seen me do cantaloupe. Everybody's done bananas. Everybody's done strawberries. Pretty much everybody's done apples, so there's really not a lot to show. My grapes I'm going to blanch. I'm going to do it the Bibbs way, which is stick my grapes in boiling water. As that water comes back to heat, the grapes will start to float, and as soon as they start floating, I'm going to scoop them off and put them into ice cold water bath to cool them down quickly. You want to get those cooled down quickly, and you want to get them just as they're starting to float, because we don't want cooked grapes, we just want blanched grapes. And they'll come out beautiful. They always do. Beautiful. My pears, I'm going to go ahead and use my potato peeler and take the skin off of them. Really, that's about it. I'm not going to skin my peaches. I'm going to go ahead and freeze dry those with the skin on them. So, with that being said, I need to get busy on chopping some fruit. I'll kind of probably show you each tray that I do before I stick it in the freezer. So I think I'll start with my grapes because that's the one that's most time consuming, and I'll move on from there. Alright, I'll see you then. Okay, there's my grapes, green and reds, all blanched and chilled and cooled down. So I'm going to get those in the freezer and move on to the next one. Okay, so what I got here is my 1¼ pounds of strawberries, and we can put 2½ pounds per tray. So I'm going to put my little grapes on here, and I'm going to put 1½ pounds of sliced bananas on top of that. So that'll make my 1¼ pounds bananas, 1¼ pounds strawberries will make my 2½ pounds per tray. It's going to be a little bit tall on that, but I'm going to try and get this all done in one load. So there's my strawberries, and I'll get on with the bananas. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we have a layer of strawberries and a layer of bananas on there, so a total of 2½ pounds on that tray. Let's do my peaches. Okay, those peaches were pretty ripe. Too ripe almost. I'm going to do the same with these. Layer that. And so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. So I'm going to probably layer my apples on top of this. So peaches and apples. That's 1¼ pounds, and then I'm going to cut my apples and put those on top. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so there we have 1¼ pounds of peaches, and on top of that I got 1¼ pounds of these apples. So we'll get those in the freezer, frozen solid. That leaves me my pears and my cantaloupe. So I'll move on to the pears, I think. There we go. My pears and my cantaloupes. So, we'll get these in the freezer. Pears have been in the freezer overnight already. But get the rest of this in the freezer, get it all frozen solid, and next time you see it, it'll be coming out of the freeze dryer. Now, I've put a lot of fruit on each of these trays. I've stayed under the 2.5 pound per tray limit, but I am fully prepared, because this is so stacked so high, to add a lot of extra time, and I'll keep an eye on it. And if it looks like my ice wall inside my freeze dryer is getting too thick, I am prepared to just take the fruit out, stick it in the freezer, defrost my freeze dryer, and then run them again. I don't know how much ice this is going to produce, so I'm just letting you know up front that we might have to, because I've stacked this so high, it's going to add time, and because there's so much fruit, water content, we may have to, in the mid part of the drying, probably in the final dry, I'll look in there and see how much ice is on the wall, and if there's too much ice, I'll pull it out, shut it off, pull it out, defrost, and then run it again from the beginning. So, just to give you a little heads up on that, but we're going to get this going, and we're going to have some nice fresh fruit cocktail freeze dried. I'll see you when this comes out of the freeze dryer. Okay, there we go. I did run this 48 hours. Let's see how these are coming out. Oh yeah, nice and crispy. Get a nice thick cantaloupe. Yep, that's nice. Try a peach pear. Yep. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these fruits and put them in my bowl here. Kind of break those up. I'm breaking these up as I put them in the bowl, so they're not sticking together. Put my apples. Peaches. Again, I'm going to break those up. All nice and dry. Here's my peach. Give it a mix as I'm doing it. I'm going to break some of these peaches in half because they're pretty big slices. My bananas. Strawberries stuck to the bottom of the grill here. The thing about this grate, I can poke my fingers through there and get them unstuck. That works pretty good. stuck together. But that's not a problem. Any big chunks, I'm just kind of taking out, breaking, snapping them in half, kind of make it more baggable. And my grapes. And just to show you, the grapes just come out of the freeze dryer. Powder. That's the beauty of blanching. It's an extra step, but my gosh, it is a totally different piece of fruit when you do it that way. Alright, let's get this mixed up. Almost need a bigger bowl. This is the biggest one I got. There you go. What do you think of that? Fruit cocktail, freeze dried. I'm going to take my single mill pouches for me. I'm going to package them this way. These would look really nice in a mason jar. Either a pint or a quart mason jar. But I'm not actually going to be gifting these, but for a gift you might want to put them in a nice mason jar and decorate that up a little bit. I'm just going to put a handful or two in each pouch. This is a single mill pouch, like that. We'll see how many I get out of that. Alright, so I'm going to put a 300cc O2 absorber in each pouch. Sure we got that. I'm going to zip it shut. And I will do that to the rest of these. Then we'll put a heat seal on that. And then we'll do a taste test. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so we ended up with 12 pouches and a little bit left over, so I'm going to be snacking on that. Let's taste some of these. Let's try a red grape. Oh yeah, that's nice. A green grape. Just like eating candy. A banana. Oh yeah. Very banana-y flavor. That is a pear. Yeah, that's pretty good. I have another piece of pear. A peach. And a nice piece of apple. Oh yeah. Very nice. I got some cantaloupe in there somewhere. So, I'm happy with that. That's a peach. Your fruit is only going to be freeze-dried as good as it tasted fresh. These strawberries were store-bought. They're not quite as sweet as I would have liked them. They're okay. My grapes are gorgeous. Just like eating grape candy. Bananas. I like to do my bananas before they're really ripe because they're too sweet for me. And that's saying something for John and Bibbs because I like sweet, but I like to get my bananas when they're still yellow, just after they've been green, and before they are really sweet. There you have. Oh, there's a piece of cantaloupe. I just got some. That's my new favorite. A nice ripe cantaloupe. That is my favorite fruit, I think. So there you have it. Another success for John and Bibbs. Maybe an idea for a holiday gift this holiday season. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you next time.